Hey everybody, it's Kairos. I've been playing League for about 6 years now, and my all-time peak so far is Diamond 3. I decided to challenge myself this season and attempt to take an unranked account all the way to Master in just a month. I'll be analyzing my biggest failures and successes along the way because I really need to improve a lot over the next month, and I hope that you can learn from my process. I really hope that you'll join me on the journey and find inspiration as I push myself like never before. This is the road to Master Tier. For this challenge, here are some of the ground rules that I've set for myself. I started my placements on August 27th, which gives me exactly 32 days to hit Master before midnight on September 27th. I'm allowed to duo, but the vast majority of games are going to be solo, and I'm keeping a tight champion pool. Probably Ivern about 95% of the time, but my backups will be Sejuani or Warwick if the matchup is really bad for Ivern or if he's somehow picked or banned. Chat will be disabled for the entirety of the challenge, both ally and enemy chat. If I lose 2 games in a row, I'll be taking at least an hour-long break to reset my mental. Before every gaming session, I'll play a warm-up ARAM or rotating game mode to get loose, and I'll also do wrist and hand exercises to keep myself healthy. In each of these videos, I'll go in depth on a handful of plays from that block of games. My intention is to highlight plays that really impacted the outcome of the game. I want to show why these small decisions changed the trajectory of the game entirely, not just make another montage series like so much of the other content that's out there. In addition to my goal of hitting Master Tier, I also have the goal of reaching 10,000 subs by the end of the year, and I can't say enough how much I appreciate the support of all my viewers, and I really believe that we can do it. Those are all the basics. Now let's kick things off with episode 1. I started placements in Bronze 1 and got off to a 3-0 start. In this game, Akshan burnt his flash in an earlier river fight, and I made sure to path back towards mid while it was still on cooldown. Mid's by far my best gank setup with Annie's stun, and we can easily get 100-0, make sure that he doesn't get away. Mid is my only lane that has gank setup, so it's where I spend a lot of time during the lane phase. My bot lane gets dove, and I see low health Nami trying to crash the wave, and here are 3 reasons why what I chose to do was complete inting. First, Nami won't be able to crash this cannon wave before Misfortune gets back, so if she tries, she'll just get locked into a lane with half health and low mana. That's a win for us. Second, all my top camps are up. I'm missing out on gold and experience, and also giving Shaco a green light to counter jungle my entire top side when I show bot. And third, even if this was a good play, which it wasn't, I mechanically misplayed absolutely everything. Through the mid game, I didn't really snowball mid. I wasn't able to help out my bot lane. We picked up a kill or 2 top lane, but that's not super impactful on a Tom. And the Shaco just out jungled me, and we ended up losing it. So this was the first loss of the series. And this game is played immediately after that previous game. So we saw Jarvan transition gank early from the bot side into the top side, so I knew that he was top side at this point in time. And then I saw a huge slow push building up bot side, so I pathed directly there for an early dive. And it doesn't go perfectly, but it does prevent Kate from farming a triple stacked wave, and now Lucian is up 12 CS and 2 kills super early into the game. Here, Viego is a level down and Kiana is level 6, and I hover in hopes of denying the dive on this cannon wave. I'm trying to stay out of range of the minions so I don't steal XP and delay his 6, but I also want to be close enough where I can respond to the dive. I should have just shown on the map from topside to deter Kiana from going for the dive, allowing Viego to catch the wave, but instead I'm late to respond because I was afraid of leeching the XP, and then I chase after her like an idiot and I die also. Again, bot lane is looking diveable, so I run to Scuttle and hit level 6 real quick to have Daisy for the dive. And Jarvan is there to answer, but because his bot lane is pushed in, they aren't in a position where they can help him. And we get the pick on Kate, and then we pull back to answer the Kiana roam. We're able to stay clustered together, and then the Jarvan and Kiana are split up, and so it makes our job really easy in this team fight, and we clean it up. From there, I maintained pressure in the bot lane and focused there to make sure that we utilize that lead, and we repeat dove Caitlyn a couple more times for good measure. We were able to pick up early neutral objectives based on the bot lane pressure, and then we closed out the game pretty easily and moved to 4-1. In this game, I know that Fiddle started bot side and so did I, so I positioned myself to contest top Scuttle or to counter gank top lane. He shows mid, so I pull the trigger on an overextended Mundo, and then I immediately reset after the kill to run bot side. I run to bottom crab where I saw Fiddle path as he crossed mid, and because I immediately reset after the top kill, I'm countering this play with a full Bammy Cinder, while everyone else is still on starter items. So this is a pretty huge play for our team in the early game. And here I started Rift Herald, but when I see that a huge wave is crashing top and that Malphite doesn't have TP, I run top to absorb the golden XP. All of that would be wasted if I stayed on Herald, nobody would get the gold, and I would be in a bad position if Mundo roamed over and Fiddlesticks face checked the Herald. We spot Fiddle on Drake, so I take the opportunity to make a cross-map play because I know we won't be able to contest it. Zed is coming back to lane and I have Malphite top with the wave pushed in already, so Mundo is completely trolling when he walks up to us instead of just giving it. And this is why cross-map plays are so good, because you're using the numbers advantage on your side of the map rather than trying to run to a play which you'll never get to on time. Here the initial gank from Fiddlesticks kills Karma, but they greed and they continue chasing Jinx, which makes them overextended for me and Zed to collapse. We get 4 kills, which is pretty huge, and unfortunately Zed dies, but we do get the 4 kills and bot turret. This game drags on, and my team continues getting picked randomly, we don't really group up, and I just stayed patient, and I waited for the right opportunity to find a pick. I didn't want to die or give away my bounty. So, 34 minutes in, and 1 Mountain Soul later, we find the right team fight to close it out with the win. We're skipping ahead a few games to the final game of placements. I'm 7-2 so far and have 30 days left in the challenge. Mid is a lane that I really want to play around. Qiyana has Ignite, so she's probably looking for an early kill, so I'm going to hover and see if I can get Sylas ahead early. If I can, he should be able to carry us through the mid game until Kayle takes over in the late game. Sylas here is building a large wave and Qiyana isn't playing back, so when Nunu shows top, I have a really good gank window. We go in and we cash in on that and get to crash the wave. Nunu re-ganks top, so that gives me free reign bottom to do whatever I want. I steal a camp and then re-gank mid since we bounced the wave after the first kill. We don't get the kill because I miss my Q because I'm bad, but Qiyana's chunked out and we're keeping her contained in mid. The longer that we can keep her in the lane phase, the better, because we don't want her freely roaming. Here's a significant mistake from me. Nunu and Blitz are both in fog, and I don't respect their roam potential. Here's a hint. If your support is roaming and their support isn't bot, there's a good chance that their support is nearby too. And this mistake ends up getting all 3 of us killed and puts us significantly behind. Nunu shows top again, which opens up the bottom side of the map for us. And I took Herald from an earlier cross map play when he went bottom. Sylas moves first because he had priority in mid. We're able to force Lucian off the wave, kill Blitzcrank, as well as the Graves, who decides to TP into the middle of my team for whatever reason. Then we drop Herald to secure first turret and the last couple of turret plates bot. And here's another really costly mistake for me. We are pushing mid as 3, and we know that Nunu just finished Herald because we get the notification from the announcer. And there's no rush for us to secure this mid turret. Kayle is solo pushing top after killing Graves, and Sylas is catching a wave bottom and has teleport up. All we had to do was walk back to our inner turret and the enemy would be forced to answer Kayle, and they would be on the back foot. Sylas could catch a huge wave, and they wouldn't really have a good play to make. Instead, we give them a 4v3 in mid lane and hand over 4 kills. Fortunately for my team, the enemy was just as bad as us, and they continued getting picked as well. And this was an incredibly sloppy game. The good news is that we had really decent scaling and pick potential. The Kayle came online and we cleaned up a Baron fight at 30 minutes, and the death timers were long enough for us to run it down and end. So we finish up placements with an 8-2 record, sitting in Silver 2 with 30 days left in the challenge. I was honestly hoping to get more of a boost from my placements, but I haven't made a new account in a couple years, so I honestly didn't know what to expect. I think as long as I'm able to keep forward momentum through Diamond, then I'll have a shot at finishing this challenge, but you'll just have to stick around and see how it pans out. If you've watched this far, I would really love your input in the comments. Is there anything you'd like to see in the rest of the series, like more games, a better summary of the climb of the ranks I'm at, or less inting? I really want to get everyone invested in the series, and I currently have gameplay through August 6th as of recording this. I'm obviously a little behind on editing since I'm grinding out games every day, but hopefully we can find a regular format that gets you guys everything you need and frees me up to keep climbing. Keep an eye out for episode 2, and I'll see you soon.